Another thing I want to go ahead and point out that I feel like basically ends up going ahead and falling on deaf ears when it comes down to perception, and personal perception versus public perception, that people love to intentionally misconstrue is when I go ahead and compare nostalgia and memory to a time capsule, all right? Ultimately, somebody's past actions, past history, past attitude, past views, past beliefs, you know, end up going ahead and helping people form opinions. And within those opinions, whether it ends up being surface level or, actually with depth, ends up going ahead and interpreting, you know, how somebody ends up going ahead and feeling for a very long time. Not only about situations, circumstances, you know, simply because of the factor that they have a hard time being able to understand when they're not at that moment of confrontation, that pivotal moment, that ultimately the way they end up responding to the situation ends up going ahead and determining exactly what they are believed to, believe as far as, if their views are basically their views or if their views are shaped on their circumstances, because at that point, it ends up going into attachment theory. It ends up going into nurture versus nature, ultimately byproduct of the environment around you, or are you, pretty much attempting to be the cleanser, to wipe away some of the rough edges, And ultimately, is your perception really the right perception? Because there are a lot of people that go ahead and say what they would do in a situation, but then when they end up getting in that situation, it's a whole different story. Like, I've got some people that go ahead and make jokes about the factor that, I've taken a couple losses when I've been, physically outnumbered, because people don't believe in a fair one. But at the same time, too, there are other people that remember them being able to escape from, to safety because of the factor that I actually stood there, held my ground, and the person coming at me, they got it back, And the funny thing is, the people that go ahead and make the jokes, about, oh, I could take them, I could take them, I could take them. Funny thing is, they usually tend to disregard the people that end up going ahead and responding, dude, I had to wait almost 2 fucking months to get a word in edgewise after that motherfucker ended up doing so much damage that my jaw needed to be wired shut. So, how about this? How about your false sense of bravado and ego might just be exactly what makes that dude go use your own hand to cause you to start hitting yourself while simultaneously forcing your fingers after breaking them to cause you to finger your own asshole. And it's been done before. So don't assume that that's not a, viable outcome. Like, that motherfucker has made people finger bang themselves. All right? So you need to understand. Like, you don't want to go into a contest of who can be more depraved. All right? That motherfucker really doesn't have limits. But it's also because of the factor that motherfucker clarifies that they're not trying to start a fucking situation, but there are other people that like to go ahead and provoke an encounter, but they have no idea. Be careful what you wish for. It could happen, People tend to get pretty fucking bold until you go ahead and start clarifying, yo, I'm on your way to your house. This is your address. So, what was that good shit you were talking? Oh, I needed a good adrenaline rush. And that's the point you get to learn that you fucked up. I'm just saying. Who somebody wants to be and who somebody is forced to be due to dangerous environments are two totally different things.